What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So a little bit of a different setup today. I'm actually not home, but I do have my laptop, which is perfect because I could still film this video. The camera's a little weird. It's like mirroring. So like I'm really leaning to the left right now, but it's showing to the right. So it's like kind of weird. I don't like it, but normally I can't really edit that unless I'm on my other computer because I know how to do better editing there. But yeah, we're still going to do our normal Forex analysis. That's what's great about this industry. You can literally do it from anywhere as long as you have your phone or laptop. So yeah, I just did up the analysis for my charts, and I'm going to go through 5 different pairs that I have today. So yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it. So first up we have AUDUSD. AUDUSD is looking pretty strong for this week, mainly because one, weekly is continuing our very strong bullish push. It's not at the most optimal point. We would like to normally catch these trades when we're on the retracement. We don't really want to try to catch it when we're at the top, right? So we want to catch it when we're at the retracement, and the weekly is not really doing that right now, kind of like at that top point. But it is a very strong push, and it looks like there may be potential for a retracement back into an area of interest. So basically on the daily time frame, we can see that we had a very strong push upwards. Basically the entirety of last week was a very strong push upwards, breaking a lot of market structure, breaking out of this little consolidated zone, which is really, really good. And now we're just simply waiting back for a retracement into our area of interest. You can see how I have my fib sequence set up. We go from the bottom wick of this low blue candle all the way to the top wick of this upper blue candle where the push happened. And the main area that we're looking for is anywhere in between here, the 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 zone. That's kind of where we want to be looking for entry positions and also lower time frame shifts of structure. It's really great that this kind of area lines up most of the time with our area of interest. Those A+ setups really only come from when we have those area of interests lining up with those fib sequence numbers as well. So we could also see here that if we zoom in a little bit more, that we do have like I keep on getting confused between supply and demand. I don't trade supply and demand, but I like it when it confluences a little bit. I believe this is a supply like candlestick, this red candlestick before the push. So if we do get down to this area, this could be a really strong entry position as well, which may give us a potential tighter stop loss and potentially more profits as well. So yeah, I'm probably just going to be looking for around a 1 to 2 on this trade if it does decide to retrace back into our area of interest. But it may continue push even a little bit more. If it does, then we're just going to simply wait for also, another retracement to happen at overall this market structure. So that's that for AUDUSD. EURUSD, pretty similar. If it decides to load, it's going to take a minute. Basically, we did have another push upwards, which is great. And we're just simply, like we were waiting for AUDUSD to retrace, we're waiting for EURUSD to retrace. We can see that this one will line up with our daily EMA a little bit better. On the 4 hour, again, we're just pushing a little bit, nothing too crazy, just kind of waiting for a retracement. I wish this one did line up a little bit better with this kind of middle area of interest that I have drawn over here. We can see it uses support, 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 a little bit of support here from this wick, resistance here, support, resistance here. The only thing that I don't really like about this pair is how many times we have crossed this zone. If it was a lot more consistent with it using support and resistance, then it would be a lot higher of a confluence, more higher probable trade. But this one has been breaking through above and below many times on this kind of middle area of interest. So that's the only kind of downside that I don't really like. And also that it's not perfectly really lining up with our middle numbers here at 0.5, 0.618, 0.382. By that not lining up, it's not really giving me too much of a high confidence, but it is a really good breakout. We had a very, very strong push upwards. Waiting for another retracement would be great. Even if this pushes up a little bit more, maybe up to here, then we could see that the area of interest does line up with our middle fib sequence numbers a lot better. This would also give it a better opportunity for the daily EMA to kind of reach the point so we can potentially reject off of that as well. But yeah, again, like I've said in previous YouTube videos, I say it all the time. You guys know it. It's a big part of my strategy. your pairs need to be in confluence when you're trading, right? AUDUSD, we're looking for longs. EURUSD, we're looking for longs. USDCAD now, we're looking for shorts, right? Really, really good confluence that a lot of these pairs are lining up super well with each other and against each other when they are in sync and also opposites, right? So on USDCAD, we have a very strong push downwards again. We're waiting for a retracement back into our area of interest, back into our fib sequence numbers. This is nothing new that I've shown you guys over the past 12 weeks I've been doing this. And again, like our daily EMA is lining up very well with our area of interest and the fib sequence numbers. The only thing I don't really like about this pair is, again, like how much consolidation we've been in for the past, like 2-3 months here. It's kind of annoying. And also how, what was I going to say? Yeah, just like the consolidation kind of makes it a little annoying that we're in. We're not like breaking really strong structure here. But yeah, it does line up pretty well. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention how this pair would only make sense for me to trade if we are kind of at this middle 0.5 section. If we do start to reject off of this 0.382 zone, then it may still be a good trade, but we can see that our risk to reward ratio gets really diminished. It becomes pretty small and almost like insignificant to trade because now you're kind of like just coin flipping this trade. Yeah, I'm not really looking to have take profits be any lower, especially since we have this area of interest. So at most, you're really pushing for a 1.5 at most. And I don't really like to have that. I want to have a little bit more when I am going to place a trade. So if anything, I would have to look at potential entries only in and around 0.5 to 0.618 zones. So yeah, that's USD CAD. Again, like I said, the USD, we're either going short when it's on the first position or long when it's on the second position. GBPUSD looking great for longs as well. We can see, I didn't even draw my fib sequence here. All right, let's do that. So our fib sequence goes from the bottom of the blue candle all the way to the top of the most of the push that happened, right? So we see the push happened from all the way from July 2nd up until July 5th. So that pushed all the way up, all blue candles. We just put our fib sequence at the lower wick, and then we stop it at the upper wick. You could go the other way too. It doesn't really matter. If you notice that the 0.618 zone is exactly the same distance away to 1 as its 0.382 is to 0. There is no real difference at all. So I just mainly look at these three numbers. So for me, it's insignificant. Some other people use fib kind of sequences and fib numbers a little differently, but for me, it's pretty insignificant. As long as it's somewhat in this middle zone, then I'm happy. But we could see the daily breaking upward structure. I told you guys many times that it was going to bounce off this area of interest for the past 2 weeks, and that was mainly because of this weekly push that we had. Oh, it's taking forever to load. Internet is not doing me good today. But yeah, we had this weekly push, break of structure, coming back, retesting this area of interest. I told you guys there's plenty of opportunity to buy here. If you did, that's great. You could see you could be up, 10, 20% if you held a trade from all the way down here up to here. But yeah, super strong buying opportunities, especially down here. Now that we're officially breaking structure on the daily, that's what I like even more. So we're just simply waiting for a retest back down into our area of interest, back down into our fib numbers, back down into our daily EMA, back down into our daily market structure. Everything is lining up super, super well for this trade. Very high probable trade. We just simply need to wait for the retracement. Really not much to do. Probably for the next 3 days, maybe even next week. You know what I mean? I'm not really in a rush. We're not trying to force trades here. We just have to wait for the retracement, wait for it to come back into our market structure, into our area of interest before we feel like, the trade has a high probability of continuing bullish. So now we go over to GBPNZD. This is my last pair for the week. Yeah, I've been mentioning this one for a few weeks, guys. This one I've been telling you, we're waiting for the breakout. And we can see that it pushed pretty strongly last week, and we're starting to break daily market structure. We broke above, this downwards push. We're breaking above this market structure. We're above our daily EMA now. We are holding a little bit of resistance here at this area of interest on the daily, but we can still have potential to break above it and then come back and retrace. This one is not something I'm probably going to be trading this week. This one's more of just kind of a wait factor potential trade for next week or the following week. We just need more market structure to be developed and see where it does end up in the next couple days, couple weeks. But yeah, overall, very, very bullish this week with all the AUD-USD pairs and all the USD pairs. One thing I do want to mention is you have to be super careful this week. If we can see the news events that are happening, these are, you know, some of the biggest news events of the entire year for the US dollar. Powell speaking twice. He has a speech and he has a testimony. Huge spikes in the market is going to be happening. We have this day, what is this, July 11th? This is Thursday. This is going to be one of the craziest days of the market. This is going to have the biggest candle of probably the year so far, or just going to be at least a massive candle, right? We have inflation rates year over year, month over month, and that's like one of the biggest indicators of what the market's going to do. So I can guarantee, you know, if we are in a position here, and we are a little bit in profit, I will most definitely move my stop loss to break even, because if we don't, we're at risk of just tanking. But let's say we are in a position, you know, we're a little bit in profit and we move our stop loss to break even, then, you know, it might be a little bit of a gamble, but we could just go for, wait for market to do its thing, right? If it does reach Thursday, we might see a candlestick that might happen like this, like literally no joke, like we could see a candlestick like this, and within probably like, you know, 3 hours or so. And this could be a huge day. This could be one of the biggest days that we could ever have. Would be absolutely insane. I don't know if I want to be in the trade, honestly. I really hate placing trades during news events simply because it feels like gambling at that point, because I know I don't follow the statistics of the fundamental analysis too much, right? Even though there is a lot of opportunity to, and you could definitely get in on a lot of it, it does take a lot of time and research, and that's something that I haven't really looked into too much. But, you know, things like this can happen if you just gamble a little bit. This is kind of like the more side of Forex trading that you don't want to be on, especially gambling. But, you know, if you can get lucky during one of these news events, you know, you could flip an account, you know, almost 100% if you have a small enough position or a big enough position, depending on where your stop loss is and stuff like that. If we do end up getting to this point, that would be crazy. You know, damn well I'm going to be posting that on my Instagram, but I'm hoping I don't have to be in the position, just because it adds a lot more of unnecessary stress into my trading strategy and my trading psychology that I don't want to even think about. But yeah, you know, this can definitely be a possibility, or this can be a possibility. You know, if this happens, then, you know, we want to make sure that we at least break even, and at minimum have a stop loss set. If you do not have a stop loss set, then honestly, you probably deserve it. Okay, if this happens to you and you do not have a stop loss set, then you deserve it. You clearly did not do enough studying before even considering how to trade with real money, or even funded money through a prop firm or anything like that. So please don't be this person. Please set a stop loss at minimum. But if you can, if you're in the trade, set your stop loss to break even before this news event. The markets are going to flip and do some crazy shit. So that's pretty much it for this week, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's not my normal setup. I'm probably not going to edit this too much like I normally do. There's no really going to be like an intro or outro. But yeah, I'll see you guys on my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in future YouTube videos. Have a good week, guys. Peace.